told me that I was the only one she'd ever need. That was before this trucker came and took her for a ride. Now there's nothing I can do to keep her satisfied. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew there was something wrong. Suddenly she'd get headaches every time we were alone. When she finally told me we were downtown at the mall, and it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I thought for sure I'd fall. Well, she broke my heart and walked.
Boy, one of the best things that can happen to you, if it's a positive thing, of course, is that if you have a product that goes viral. Walgreens has been getting a lot of bad news. They've had a full plate of bad news over the past year. They've had, debt piling up, and they've had employees mad and quitting and unionizing. They've been closing stores left and right. But apparently they have some candy. They have Walgreens candy that went crazy viral on TikTok, and now they can't keep it in stock. They have these gummy mango candies. It says peelable candy on it. These tiny little mangoes that you can peel. And because of TikTok, these things are sold out everywhere. They started imposing bag limits on people. Kids would come in and just clear out the gummy mango candy because of TikTok. And so it's that's what's kind of happening with a lot of these places like Walgreens, CVS, is they're really beefing up like the front of the store, right? So people can go in. Right down here at like 12th and Chester, I think, a ground floor of one of the apartment complexes, there's a DG Express. You ever been in there?
No.
It's called DG Express. It's a Dollar General, but it's like 2 aisles. So it's like you dip in and they just have...
It's got like little essentials, basically.
Yeah, like or snacks or whatever. And but
fun.
Walgreens hasn't been able to keep these... I've never even heard of this, but they can't seem to keep these gummy mangoes in stock. So if probably a lot of Dwayne Reeds there in New York, yeah, Mary?
But I thought it was Reedy.
Dwayne Reedy? I'd never heard that.
I think it's Dwayne Reed.
It might be, but I'd never heard that.
I have no idea.
Like this CVS that we have right over here on the corner where it always looks like it was ransacked.
An explosion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, oh, you guys still recovering from the protests in 2020?
Did Black Lives Matter just come through here? Because there are chips all over the floor, but that's okay. A lot of people in the break texting me, please let Mary know, or let Brian know that they have dishwasher magnets where one side says clean, one side... Yeah, you have to know that already.
Well, he says that if you leave it on there, you might not remember to turn it. So you still wouldn't know. Like
the slip of paper only says these are clean.
Yes, it only comes out once you start the dishwasher, then you put the paper out.
But it wouldn't be hard to remember to flip a magnet.
But you might not remember.
You're taking these out.
But then what if you forget to flip the magnet? Now we have dishes that we don't know if they're clean or dirty.
Wow, okay.
These are the things that people with OCD ruminate about. Did I remember to lock the door? Did I remember to flip the dishwasher magnet?
Probably
Did I
not.
leave the stove on? You know?
First world problems, man. Living a pretty charmed life. That's all right. A lot of other people pointing out to me that rather than these goofy conversational pieces that I'm giving my daughter for Google Translate to test her Spanish, perhaps I should be testing her on something that's going to make more sense to her, which is a good... It's a very good point.
¿Por qué hablabas de agujeros B y penes en la radio, papá?
Why are you talking about penises on the radio, Daddy?
Why were you talking about beer holes and penises on the radio, Daddy?
Mary's Spanish is very good. She knew it right away.
Are you being sarcastic?
No.
I'm not bad.
No. You said
She's
you
saying
took
good.
Yeah, you said muy bueno. You said you took it for a long time.
I can understand a lot better than I can speak. I went to get my nails done Sunday, and it was everyone in there was speaking Spanish. I was the only white person in there. The nail techs were Spanish. The people getting their nails done were Spanish. Like, nobody spoke very minimal English.
Right.
And I was trying so hard to, like, pick up on whatever they were saying and what conversations, but they were just speaking so fast that I was like, there's no way. I'd catch like a couple words here and there, and by the time I strung the sentence together, they were already way past whatever.
Yeah, I'm only good, like, my tourism Spanish is okay. You know, like we go to Mexico or something, I can communicate with people.
Right.
But it could not be, they need to do it. I mean, first off, you're in luck because obviously they know you're from the United States.
Right.
So they assume you're a dummy. So any little bit, you know, of their language that you can speak, usually appreciative. Even if they kind of laugh halfway through. When they're laughing at you, take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, there's a lot going on there. About 10 more whistleblowers have lined up over there for Boeing, people who are ready to tell their story after those other two guys.
That's brave. That's real brave.
Died under mysterious circumstances. The one guy allegedly shot himself in his truck, and then the other guy died of a mysterious illness. People who were investigating both of those cases said that they didn't find anything that would have led them to believe that there was a foul play involved. Joshua Dean was a 45-year-old guy, and he was the second Boeing whistleblower to die suddenly in the past 2 months. So there are a bunch of other people lining up. One of them, by the way, is an integrated systems engineering professor at Ohio State University. So if you're maybe bucking for, maybe if you're a professor at OSU and you're next in line for this guy's gig, you keep an eye on him. And so there's a bunch of other people who are lining up to tell their story about the failings over there at Boeing. Of course, they refer to these people as heroes. Posthumously, they refer to them as that. Nobody was I don't know how many people were referring to them as heroes before this, because obviously it's much more poignant if they believe that somebody was brought to the point where they had to get themselves out of it. You know, somebody might have hit up that first guy and been like, hey, we need you to take care of yourself or we'll take care of your family. You know what I mean? Like if you go down that rabbit hole, if you get conspiratorial about it, it could be a complete coincidence that these two guys who were ready to testify against Boeing in the span of 8 weeks both died. I mean, shooting yourself in the head, I don't know that that constitutes mysterious circumstances. This other guy, who for the most part was pretty healthy, and gets this illness that, you know, the doctors were like, we've never seen anything like this. And everybody's like, there's no reason to look into this. So there are a lot of other people who are lining up, ready to tell their story. I wonder if, beyond somebody who used to work for the company in the whistleblower capacity, I wonder if the people who found an airplane door in their front yard get called forward. I wonder if they get a subpoena or a summons. You know, because they've got Exhibit A now in their garage. I'm sure the NTSB comes out and, you know, takes it off their hands. But for a little while, you know, people had, you know, that Alaska Airlines when the door flew off the plane, landed in people's yard. You go out there and there's an airplane door. Call those people in. But some guy associated with OSU is going to be in this next round of whistleblowers. And I don't know what any of these, you know, I guess the end result is they want some kind of stricter regulations on the company. I don't know. I'm kind of lost in the sauce on that whole thing. Tell Mary she won't forget to flip that office dishwasher magnet with Michael Scott on one side and Prison Mike on the other. Yeah, but you still have to remember to do it, to your point.
Right.
I'd rather have the Scranton Strangler on the other side, but
there you go.
That's just me. The Boeing whistleblowers are going the raid Area 51 route. They can't kill us all. The Naruto run, remember when people were out there? Area 51. Alan, Mary doesn't like Bill talking about sex, but one of her recent reels is her riffing about a guy wearing a baseball hat having sex.
Yeah. It's different when it's every now and then and when it's incessant. I made a joke. I posted it last night as this giant.
Oh, it's the frequency you've got an issue with.
Yeah. It's this big dude sitting in the front row, and he's wearing a some kind of a minor league baseball team hat. And I asked him about it, and he said he's got like a very large collection, extensive collection of minor league baseball hats. And I was joking with him about being a dork. And I was like, you always been a nerd? Like, what's going on with you? And his wife was like, yes, oh my God. I'm like, oh, that's what you like about him? She's like, yeah, I like that he's a nerd, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know why I said it like this, but I was like, nerds are usually gentle lovers.
Oh, gross. Gentle lovers.
They're really good lovers. That's what I said. I said, nerds are usually really, really
like Bill
good
with
lovers.
his light touch.
And then I said,
a very light touch.
I said, you look like a gentle lover, sir. You're a man of sizable carriage, but I bet you know how to work it.
Wow.
It was just something silly, and they were loving it, and she was like,
no, I get it. I
get it.
I don't
it's okay
share.
when Mary does it. Not okay when I do it.
That's right. Rules for thee, not for me.
It's all right.
If every single video I ever posted was about sex, then yeah, sure, you can.
Is every single post that I make about sex?
But do you do that joke every time you go up?
No, it was because it was about the guy in the front row in the hat he was wearing. That's not a bit that's
Oh,
in
I
my
see.
act.
Yeah, you were doing,
It was crowd work.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, so I can never, ever say one word about anything remotely sexual.
Well, you know, Mary, when we're here live on the radio speaking extemporaneously, you know, this could all be defined as crowd work, right?
Sure. I'm a huge hypocrite.
Bill's
and
just.
I'm
not
the
saying
least
anything.
funny person
I
who's
am.
ever existed,
No
and
one. Now you're projecting. No
I deserve
one
to
said
have my
anything.
Instagram taken down.
No one said anything of the sort. I'm just passing it along. That's all. People see discrepancies, and they come to me. They rely on me to try to suss it out.
Mm-hmm.
No one is suggesting anything of the sort.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
All right.
There you go. All right.
Coming soon from Mary Santora. Hypocrite. New comedy special.
Uh-huh.
I think it's whoever
Hypocrite
that person
Bougie,
is,
the new album from Mary Santora.
whoever that person is, I think somebody commented that exact same thing on the reel last night. So
I
whoever
see.
they are probably was annoyed that I didn't.
They really wanted to get their point across.
Yeah.
Right.
But you didn't just say it's not with the frequency. You said you don't like comedy about sex. We had a whole thing about it because it makes you visualize the sex. And now we all got to think about this
Gentle lover.
This gentle lover with this
Trash Panda's cap on.
Yeah,
already,
I got one
No,
of
it
those.
was the Birmingham pony, Rumble pony.
I got the Trash Pandas hat. I got the
Binghamton Rumble Ponies.
St. Augustine, or not St. Augustine, Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Yeah.
I got the Rubber Ducks. Got a Clippers hat, the Columbus Clippers. I got a little collection of
I like minor
hats.
league baseball
They
caps.
got some good ones.
Yeah.
Dude,
Jim Tuesday's
on
got the
TikTok?
cheesesteak. That one's that's a good one.
We got Bureau Chiefs up in Binghamton.
The comments on TikTok are much more into like, oh, this is a whole thing. Like minor league baseball hats.
It is a
an
whole thing.
entire
Yeah.
Thing.
I don't think you were on the show when I was more into them, but it was definitely a thing where
80 comments of people mostly telling me like, no, this is a big deal.
That's why that guy was so proud of his hat. That's why he wanted to let you know he had a big collection.
Yeah.
Because they do.
Now, you
so many
called him a
different-
nerd. He's not a nerd to those other minor league baseball cap collectors.
No.
They do a lot of different variations on them, and they do like special like things where they'll only be that team name for like a day or two or like a couple games, and it's a special, and they'll release a special hat for that. It's the minor league baseball hats are really fun.
They don't take themselves too seriously.
They do not.
The Rumble Ponies. They're part of the Mets organization.
I thought he said Birmingham.
Binghamton, New York.
That's
Yeah.
the other thing I'm getting flamed for on TikTok. Everyone, it's Binghamton, not Birmingham. I'm like, my bad, dude. Chill out.
Sorry. Nerd alert! Nerd alert!
Yeah. But they were actually from Menor.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, they were.
I don't know why my voice went up like that.
Some listeners hanging out in the front row in Raleigh.
All right.
Are they living down there now, or are they just
Mm-hmm.
down?
Yeah, they live down there. They moved down there.
We left Menor for a more open-minded place.
Yes.
Raleigh, North Carolina. Well, sometimes the road calls you. Sometimes the wanderlust is too much to ignore.
Raleigh feels like it was stuck in 2014. Like, they were still very heavy into, like, the gastro pub, craft beer, $28 burger with no fries. Like, every place felt like it did. I feel like we've come out of that, right? Like, that's not.
I feel like
Really?
that's still a really big thing.
I guess
You're
maybe
in
I'm
New
not
York,
going
so
to
it's
places
different
like that.
there.
Why, Bill?
You're
Is
in
it
the
more
future,
expensive
future.
there?
It is.
What's there, though? NC State? What's in Raleigh? Dukes and Durham. What's in Raleigh? They have
There's
a college,
something
yeah.
there. Yeah, there's
I think
some
North
kind of
Carolina
college
State
there.
is there, yeah. Missouri River Motorboaters.
Whoa.
That's another team, apparently. Unless this person's just randomly texting me Missouri River Motorboaters. Alan, we don't have a dishwasher sign. We do dirty dishes have a soap pod in the door, and clean dishes have no soap pod.
But what if you forget to put
Well, I was
going to
say, then you have to remember, See, I'm the one always loading the dishwasher in our house because I don't like the way Gwen does it.
Oh, is that what you call banging Gwen?
Yeah!
That's a sex joke.
Gotta drop a load, man. No, I have a very specific way that I load the dishwasher. So if she's put things in there, and she doesn't mean to do it. She doesn't mean to do it willy-nilly, but I just have a way that I do it to maximize the space in the dishwasher.
My mom is like that. Where if you don't load it how she likes, she will unload it and reload it. Or move
things around. That's
Yeah.
right. You can move things around. Because I might have to get a couple more things in there.
I like living by myself.
You can do whatever the hell you want, right?
Pretty nice, huh?
Yeah.
Run that dishwasher with 2 dishes and a pan in it. and that's all you
I
need.
absolutely have.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a
absolutely
waste
have.
of water, though.
No, it's not, because they say that it's actually uses less water with the
I do not buy
dishwasher
that. I don't buy
than
it.
if you're like washing dishes by hand.
I don't buy that for a second.
Well, I do because I want to.
Yeah, and that's
How would
fine.
you use I mean, the water is going continuously in the dishwasher
for
for
like
a
2
while.
hours?
Yeah.
No.
When you're
The
washing
study
the
says do the dishes that way.
I mean, whatever. I guess. There's probably no way to know. Well, because some people, when they do them by hand, they fill up one side of the sink with water. And
That's
they put
assuming you have 2 sides of the sink.
Yeah,
Well, don't
okay.
most people have a 2-sided sink?
No.
No, I don't.
Really? You don't?
I don't
No.
think that's a most people thing. I think that's like most people have 1 water basin.
What?
Yeah.
Just a plain old, we don't have some fancy sink, aluminum sink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have 2 sides
I'm
to
thinking
it.
of it.
No.
I'm like, both my brothers, my sister, myself, my apartment, Brian's house, all one sink.
Well, apartments, yeah, I get. But I mean, we're in a house.
Okay, my sister,
Bill's
Brian's
in a
house, both
high-rise
my
condo.
brothers,
Mm-hmm.
Those are all one sink basin.
Wow. All right. Well, I stand corrected. Forget I said anything. I said, forget I said anything.
I never liked that either, though. When you fill it up with water and then you're
Oh,
dipping it
another
into the
thing Mary
dirty
doesn't
water,
like.
man.
Well, yeah, because then it gets lukewarm and it's got stuff. No, I get that too.
I stayed with my girlfriend was down in Raleigh for work, and then we put ourselves up at this swanky hotel for a couple days and had some like one-on-one best friend time.
Yeah.
And, oh my god! But she said that too. She goes, you know, you have a
best
lot of
friend time.
you have a lot of little qualms. She goes, you got a lot of little
Quirks.
hang-ups. Yeah. She's like, you got a lot of things that bother you. Like, for instance, I said I wanted to stay at the pool all day, but I started to get sunburnt around 3, and I was like, hey, I'm done. She goes, why don't you just pull the shade over? And I was like, because I don't want to be hot if I'm not going to be in the sun. It's 92 degrees. She was like, so you're fine being hot laying in the sun, but you're not fine being hot laying in the shade. And I was like, exactly. I don't understand why that's hard to understand.
This is why Mary has so many best friends, because they have to take turns with her. They have to rotate through her, right? They're like, Jesus, can you
Probably.
take her this time? When does a preference rise to the level of becoming a quirk?
Probably the more specific it is.
Yeah. So you didn't want to lie there and be hot unless you were directly in the sun.
Right. And my sun time was over because I could feel my back starting to get like tight and itchy. And I was like, oh, I'm probably starting to burn.
And you weren't asking her to go in. You just said,
No.
I'm going in.
I said, I'm going in.
Right.
I don't want to be out here anymore. I'm hot. She's like, you said you wanted to be in the sun all day. I said, well, my pale skin called it a day. I can't do anything about it.
Alan, our sink has 3 basins.
Whoa.
Oh.
Wow, how about that?
Good for you.
3 basins.
The old
Oof.
3 basin brag coming at us.
Hey.
Yeah. Nothing humble about that. Okay, I'm going to break. I'll have more money for you at 4:30. That next keyword's on the way. $1,000 from the Buzzard bookie. Right after this, I'll have Skybox tickets for you. Want to go see Britt Floyd with me on the 19th, Jacobs Pavilion? We'll set that up coming back.
It's the Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio app and your favorite smart device. Just tell it to play the Alan Cox Show.
On iHeartRadio.
From the Mr. Hero
I crave the hero.
Weather Center.
WMMS weather.
Partly sunny this afternoon with a chance of